Good morning. It's 11 o'clock in the morning on the 18th of December. This is our fourth day that we are on passage between Las Palmas and Cabo Verde. We had in this trip the first day and a half we had good winds. We could run under good sails, stable winds, and then afterwards the wind died on us, so we had to run on engine for about a day and a half, well, a day, a night and a half a day. Then the wind picked up again yesterday. All of that was predicted in the weather forecast that we had, so no harm done. So as of yesterday, the wind picked up, not much, about 8 knots, which is about 16 kilometers per hour, so that's not fast at all, but just good enough to get the boat moving under sails again. I think we're all tired of running under engine, which makes a lot of noise, both at the helm position and also for the two people who sleep in the aft cabins, and the cabins in the back, which is basically next to the engine itself. We tried out a new sail configuration because the wind angle that we had was ideal to try this out. Now look at this. I think maybe on the video it gives not a very good impression how big these sails is, but I think this mast is about 20 meters high. So we run two sails which are 20 meters high, and we run them wing on wing. For the sailors amongst you, on the right is our 140% Genoa, the normal big foresail that we use, and on the left is an asymmetrical spinnaker, a very lightweight sail, which is also often used. You've seen this probably also when boats are racing, sailboats are racing. Often you see them with the very colorful sails, and these are spinnakers. So we have an asymmetrical spinnaker. For the sailors amongst you, an asymmetrical spinnaker, basically on the left side, it runs almost straight down, as you can see here. So this is running straight down. It's fixed at the top, fixed at the bottom, and then the side, oops, almost took a dive here. And the side is running to a sheet, like a normal Genoa would be. For the Genoa, because we're running almost straight downwind with the wind in the back of us, we use a pole, a whiskey pole, that forces the Genoa to stay open, especially in light winds. In light winds, the Genoa tends to fold up because there's not enough wind to fill the sail, and then with a big bang unfolds again. So with the whiskey pole, you kind of force the Genoa to stay open as much as possible. But as you can see, even now at this moment, we don't have a lot of wind. We have about 7 knots, 8 knots, which is very light for a heavy boat like ours. So the sails are not always filled with the wind that we have. But it's doable because at this moment we're running on, let's say, 7-8 knots. We're still running 4 knots of boat speed. So that's quite an achievement again for a big boat like ours. It's a little bit of work to make sure that the sails keep filled. As usual, we run on autopilot. So we run on autopilot that is fixed on a certain wind angle. We're sailing currently at 165 degrees on the wind, so almost with the wind straight from the back of us, on the starboard tack. So this means that the wind comes from our right. The main purpose is to keep this genoa filled up, and then this one almost works like a slave sail. You hear probably in the background, we run on generator at the moment, not to go faster, but simply to charge the batteries. We have a quite large battery bank on the boat, which is powering all of the appliances, including also the autopilot. Now these are, let me see if I can show this to you. I have to be careful because there's some swell that I don't disappear overboard here. Here you see these panels are solar panels, so we have 1 kilowatt, 1000 watt of solar power. By the way, on the right hand side you see our satellite, one of our satellite antennas. So these panels here, the solar panels, charge the batteries. But again, all of the appliances on the boat are powered from the 12-volt batteries. That includes the autopilot, all of the pumps, the water pumps, the drainage pumps that we have in the showers, the fridge, the freezer, all of the electronics equipment, the radio equipment, the satellite equipment. What else did I forget? Also the water maker. Although we have, I think, 3 tanks of about 250 liters each, we do need to make water, desalinate water, while we are on the run, because for long passages, water is always crucial, of course. Other boats which don't have a water maker take typically loads of big canisters of water with them. But we have a water maker, so when we have enough solar power, or when the batteries are charged enough, we run the water maker to fill up the tanks. Now the problem is with the solar panels, if it is cloudy weather like today, it's a pretty cloudy day. You can't even see the sun through the clouds. So if it is a cloudy day, the solar panels almost do not charge. And as an additional problem, we're sailing south, almost straight south. So this means that for most of the day, when the sun is at the highest and normally should give the most power, the sails are shading the solar panels. So the sails are up in front and the solar panels are in the back. So if the sun comes from there, you see in this configuration, but also if we use the mainsail, which at the moment is not out, those shade the solar panels completely. So yesterday was a beautiful sunny day with a clear blue sky, loads of sun, but almost no charge, because we were sailing the whole day with the solar panels in the shade of the sails. And today we have a cloudy day, so with clouds like this, our solar panels almost do not charge at all. So we need to juice up the batteries with a little generator that we run from the back. Our boat does not have a built-in generator. Most boats of this size or smaller do not have a built-in generator. So you can either run the big engine, which has an alternator that charges the batteries, but that goes too slow. We do not have a massive alternator. So it is much cheaper and easier to use a little 2 kilowatt generator that is normally stored in this locker, and we just power it through the line, the electrical wire that normally connects to shore power if we are somewhere in a port and have access to electricity. So this generator now charges the batteries. It is not a big generator, as you can see, so it doesn't consume much of gas. It's just a bit noisy, especially here at the helm position. You're right next to the little Jenny, so it's a bit noisy. But we just opened up the back, the transit, so that the fumes can go out a little bit, so it doesn't stay in the cockpit. For the rest, nothing much to report. The sea is extremely calm. I can't really jinx it, because normally when we say something good about the weather or something, in the next 5 minutes it changes. But anyway, I'm going to take my chances here. Maybe the gods will not hear me and will not, jinx it. So the seas are extremely calm. I cannot understand how, in pretty open seas in the Atlantic Ocean, the sea can be that calm. We have almost no waves. Normally in open ocean you have swells of 3-4 meters, very steady swells, which are not violent whatsoever. And then you have a little bit of smaller waves on top, generated by the wind. But this ocean swell, the bigger, slower swell and heavier swell, is not there. And I can't believe why, I cannot understand why this is. We had big ocean swells when we went from Gibraltar to Las Palmas. Even when we sailed between the different islands of the Canary Islands, we had the big ocean swell. But here we are far less protected. I mean, there is nothing protecting us basically. It's all sea. So even so, we don't have ocean swell. So I don't understand it. But anyway, as I say, we're not going to look a given horse in the mouth. We're going to be grateful what the weather gods give us. Less swell also means that it is less violent on the boat. The boat doesn't roll that much, and also is less violent on the sails, because if you have a big swell, the sails do flap quite a bit. Certainly if you have light winds. So if you would have the normal ocean swell, with these sails, it wouldn't be possible to sail, because the swell would just take the wind out of the sails and cause very heavy flapping. Even wind waves we don't have. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but it's minimum. It's not even a meter. It's like half a meter. Just looks like at the moment that like we're sailing on the lake. You can see it if you look at the bottom of this sail. You can see how little the boat moves. And thinking that we are about 100 nautical miles, about 200 kilometers off the coast, it's difficult to believe that it can be that calm. I don't think in my previous Atlantic Ocean passage we ever had calm seas like this. So Barbados, our ultimate destination, is that way, west. Currently we're sailing that way, which is south. Well, it's southwest more or less. It's a little bit off from south, because we're almost noontime. You can see the sun is a little bit on the left of us. So we're going south-southwest, around 215 degrees, to that direction, which is Cape Verde. We're more or less halfway at this moment. We have another 3-4 days to go. It really depends on the wind. The wind is predicted to continue as it is today, which is good, because then we can run on sails and don't have to run on the engine, on the motor the whole time. Voila, this is a bit of the inside of where we are. Let me have a look inside the cockpit just to give you a view. So at this moment, let's go down in the galley. We have young Chris here, who is preparing lunch.
Indeed. Hello.
Say hi, Chris.
Hello.
So Chris is preparing lunch. As you know, we are switching cooking schedules every day. We have 4 crews, so every 4th day one person is cooking. So he is preparing now a fresh vegetable soup with meat in it. So that's going to be either lunch or dinner, probably dinner. So that's going to be yummy, yummy again. If there's one thing on this boat, we don't have lack of good food. And I think it's Chris's first time he is actually preparing a soup.
Right.
Oh.
Yes.
Hey, good morning, good morning. And there is Charlie. Good morning. Charlie did one of the night shifts, just got up. Alrighty. So we go back up again. Voila, that is more or less the tour of today, the update of today. In one of the next videos, I'll give a little bit of an explanation of the sails that we have and all of the ropes that we have, so you can get an impression of what it is to actually sail in an open ocean. But for now, this is Peter aboard the sailing vessel No Worries, on passage from Las Palmas, Canarias to Cabo Verde. See you all, have a good day, and wishes fair winds and following seas. Bye.